Just another day in the melting pot. Lace up the belter's cup, illustrate with a weapon straw. Find your faith in the Kellogg's box. Just say the special breakfast soda.
What was the first beat I sent you for Green Box? Or well, I didn't know about the Green Box at the time.
Yeah.
What was the first beat I sent you? I can't remember.
The first beat that you sent me for the Green Box was the Press Jewels.
Was it?
It's the beat for the Press Jewels, yeah.
Jeez, I can't even remember making
And that was before the Green Box was even thought of, that you sent me that beat.
Oh yeah? What did I send you that for?
Because...
Motus?
No, not Motus. I don't think it was...
Was it just random?
It was just random. It was just like, oh, I made this today. Think you'd love it, like every fucking day.
Like 4-bar loop, like. This is tasty, have a little look at that.
Yeah. Like every other time you've ever sent me a beat, bro, you were just like, oh, do something with this.
And was that the start of the Green Box then?
No, you sent me that beat and I was in the midst of doing the production thing and like trying to make my own beats. My whole thing was I want to make some beats that I actually think I'd use.
Yeah,
I never used any of my own beats.
I remember that.
And yeah, it was because of all the years of you giving me the crash courses on production and just being in the room with you was obviously absorbed all that stuff. And I just wanted to see if I could make my own beats or if I could rap on my own beats, because I've been rapping on your beats for years, bro. Been rapping on your beats for years, bro. So it was something that I was just like, I'm gonna try make this stuff myself, see if there's anything to it. And I had the idea for the Green Box for a long time. You know that. Talked to you about it for years.
Well, I didn't know about the Green Box. I knew about obviously Motus, self-titled. Self-titled was the first one we shot, wasn't it? We even shot cover and all for that.
Yeah. Shot covers for all of them. For all of them. So self-titled was the first album that we worked on together.
That was the very start, wasn't it?
That was the very start from Flynn Johnson, one of the whole rebrand thing, and that was the beginning of how we ended up here.
Was it?
Yeah, man. Because it was like, we were in the studio, I mean, you were always talking about album, and from being around you, I was just thinking albums now. Yeah. And that's the way I've always been since me and you fucking got together or whatever. Yeah. But I remember self-titled was something where I wanted to make it almost genreless. And I remember you looking at me back then, being like, I get it. You were like, I understand it. You don't want to be caged in. That was the whole self-titled concept. Yeah. But I think, and I don't know if we've ever talked about it, but I think you knew that eventually I'd get to this thing.
Yeah, I always knew you had an album of this caliber in you. Do you know what I mean? I knew that since you and Daryl were together with the Ace and EJ days, you know what I mean? Yeah. I always knew it was there, like, you know, there's no disrespect to Daryl, but you were the stronger writer, you know, you were the one that was like, fucking, this fella is a bleeding lunatic, you know? You were on that level where it was like, I'm obsessed with this, you know what I mean? Yeah. I wake up, I think about lyrics. I go to sleep, I'm thinking about lyrics. I wake up in the middle of the night, jotting down notes, do you know what I mean? Or I'm doing some voice notes on the phone. That's the impression I always got from you from when we first met, like years and years and years ago, almost 10 years nearly now? Yeah. You know, and the Ace and EJ days, it was always, you were always kind of spearheading, oh, come on, we go this direction with the structure of the song, you know, it was always, come on, we do the back and forth thing, similar to what you and Wallfella did, you know. You were always obsessed with that. I know you always tried to get me on a track like that as well, but I always knew, I was like, look, man, this fella has the album in him. You know what I mean? He has it in him. You can hear it in your voice when you're writing, you know. But I think, for me, why I always sent you, oh, here's 20 beats, you know what I mean? I made these this morning, here's another 10, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because I was trying to get you to get through the kind of Drake era and the J. Cole era and the Eminem era and just get it out of your system. Do you know what I mean? Go off and sing on them tracks, bro. And then you send them back. Have you listened to them? Yeah, it ain't it. Yeah, you know what I mean? No, you need to hear it back and be like, right, I've got that out of my system now. And it takes that. It takes 2 or 3 albums worth of material to kind of find this.
But I think you did that without saying that, though. Like you had to
do
let
it,
me
though.
throw the shit at the wall.
You had to do it.
You had to go through it.
When I first started making music, man, I was 11, 12? And I was rapping in an American accent. Thought I was black. Do you know what I mean? Snoop Madra. You know what I mean? Snoop Madra, like, that's just the way it was. You know? Yeah. And it's just, I just had to get it out of my system. I was young, you know what I mean? I didn't know what fucking rap music was. I was too immature to know. You know, I didn't understand the craft. I didn't appreciate the craft. I was a skinny white kid from Ireland, do you know what I mean? I had no business making hip hop music at all, like, you know what I mean? But it took a couple of years to get it out of my system. I had to just go through the waves, go through the motions of it, you know, and get to kind of where I dropped the accent, and I started actually writing lyrics, because I was never a lyrics person. I was just more feel the vibe of the song.
Production, beats,
That's a beast, you know what I mean? That's unreal, that fucking sounds whopper, like, you know. And that's what it was to me. Then eventually I got into kind of the lyric side of it. I still don't consider myself a very good lyricist, but I'm getting there, do you know what I mean? Yeah. But
that's a lie, by the way. You're an unbelievable.
No, to peel back to it though, you just kind of, we all do it, like, you know?
Yeah.
You pick like the LDs and the fucking Costellos and the GIs and all these lads, the khaki kids now, like, we all go through the start where we're trying to emulate the people that we look up to, or that first album we hear, we're trying to make that. You know what I mean?
And I think it changed every day for me as well, where I didn't, like, I wasn't sure of what I wanted to do, bro. I thought it was at the time, obviously, but looking back now, I had no fucking clue what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go.
I mean, we tried everything. We tried the original Rude Boys thing. We tried the fucking Drake thing. Sing away, like, crack on, have fun with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that was how you developed. You know, and it still is. Like, we develop every fucking day. Like, as cheesy as it sounds.
No, but that's
you might hear a track, like, you're like, oh my god, man, I wonder if I can make that. And then you go off for an hour and make, and you're like, got it out of my system.
Well, this
right,
is the
I can
thing.
Get back to what I'm doing now.
Exactly. Yeah, this is the thing that you kind of rubbed off on me, because whether you like it or not, you were developing me as an artist. Like,
100%.
I didn't.
100%.
You never said it. It was never spoken about. But when I look back now, that's all of this is because of you. And it's like, I know we're not going to sit here and play compliment tennis to each other in the whole rack, because I know that's not your shtick and whatever. No. But all of this.
gimme. I want it all.
No, but you were, bro. You were developing me as an artist. Whether you knew it or not, I'm sure you did. But it was a lot of this stuff was unspoken when it came to our dynamic. I remember the first time you were like, that's not it, or maybe you should get somebody else to sing this, or blah blah blah. I used to take that shit to heart, bro. And I used to be like, oh, why doesn't he like the shit, or I can fucking sing on it, and blah 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 blah. But that tough love is what I needed. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got here.
No, you would have eventually. You know what I mean? You would have. As you know, just peeling it back to the start, you just had to get it out of your system. Do you know what I mean? You just had to get it out of your system. And then we worked on. Self-Titled was the first project, wasn't it?
Self-Titled was the first one, yeah.
And that was done.
Done, yeah.
As far as I remember.
Yeah.
That was like what, about 12 tracks? Full, recorded?
Yeah.
I don't think they were mixed and mastered though, were they?
Nothing was ever mixed and mastered. This is the only thing I've ever gotten mixed and mastered.
Okay.
Yeah. Everything else they were rough mixes by you or whatever, but we knew we had to eventually, like, externally get it out to somebody. But yeah, Self-Titled was the first one, and then it was Motus. And I think there was like a couple of EPs in between all this time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because we had so much material. It was like, what should we do with this? We just put it out in an EP.
Yeah. Because then I think eventually Self-Titled was like, right, after like a couple of months of sitting on it, we were like, right, here's 6 strong songs. Just put them out. You know what I mean? But a lot of people say to me, they talk to me about, because obviously the running joke is like, oh, about time this fella gets an album out, because the worst thing you can do, anybody that's watching this, the worst thing you can do is announce an album that's not finished or not even thought of yet.
We used to talk about on Gobsmack, the podcast we used to have. Remember the big announcement tomorrow at 5?
Yeah, this shit, announcing the announcement, like, you know, it's fucking...
Or like, you know, it's coming, these little subliminal jokes. You have about 20 fans, like...
that was like...
It's coming! Or the red balloon, remember the red balloon?
Yeah, the red balloon thing.
It's coming, something big is happening. It's like... Who was he announcing that for?
But I know, and I had like nobody was checking for it, like, you know what I mean?
I'm telling you, man, tens of people are gonna listen to this. 5s of people are gonna listen to this. My ma's one of them. You know what I mean?
But that's what it was, bro.
And you gotta fake it till you make it, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, all my mates, man, they were giving me death about that for years. They were like, here's the coming soon, fella, you know?
Oh, fuck's sake. It has to happen though, doesn't it? You know what I mean? When you're that young, like you were young then still. Like you're young now, but I mean you were a lot younger then. This is what, about 10 years in the making, this album? Like, took about 10 years to get to this one. How long did it take you to write this? Because for people that don't know, we worked on self-titled, then we worked on Motus, we worked on a couple of other little things in between. Some of my stuff, I have about 10 albums in
the usual
in the fucking archive that'll never see the light of day. Do you know what I mean? But we worked on them. Yeah. And then I remember saying to you, right, listen, go off and just do your own thing. Do you remember that? Like I was just like, look, go off and record your album. Come back to me when it's done. Let me hear it when it's done. Because it was just getting, everything was starting to sound the same at the time, as far as I remember. My music was sounding like your music was sounding like mine, and it was just like, are we a group? Are we fucking, are we separate artists here? Like, what's the story? Do you know what I mean?
A lot of people were making that comparison, like, I can hear the Rocky influence in...
And it's just the way it was happening, like, and then it was like, right, you go off and do your own thing, come back to me. And I think we separated, for lack of a better term.
We broke up.
We broke up for a couple of months. And then I remember you sent me Motus. And I was like, man, this thing is bleeding, banging. This thing is a hit.
Again, still on your beats though. That was like
it was 100% it was just on me. And then it was like, yeah, man, this thing is bleeding, banging, this thing's banging, this whatever, right? This thing's a vibe. I was like, yeah, let's go fucking shoot videos. Let's go do the cover. We'll get this thing packaged up. Let's get it out. And then...
we finalised the track list and everything. We did a call and I sat in your house and like we toasted to it.
We had it done. Like this thing was fucking done, you know. This was done.
Yeah, man. And
we had a plan, a release plan. We had everything sorted. Videos were more or less planned out. And then I think it was around the time you were having Kaelin, and then I was switching jobs. COVID happened. All this sort of stuff was happening. I had Barley. And it was just like, right, we might need to just take a pause for a minute. Let's just take a pause and we just kind of sort the real life shit out first. We'll dive into the album stuff second. And then I remember I don't know whether it was a voice note or if it was a text, and you were like, bro, I didn't want to tell you, because you do this all the time. I was like, I didn't want to tell you this until I seen you, but you know, I've been working away on this and I want to send some of it to you. And I was like, oh, this fucking fella now. So he sends me this bleeding...
brand new baby in his arms.
Yeah, I was like, this fucking fella, man. I thought we were fucking parked off. Like, you originally said it was album 2. I remember that. It was like, I think this is the follow-up to Motus or whatever. And you sent me more or less the full album. You weren't finished writing it. Some of the beats were kind of just 4-bar loops, as far as I remember, 4-bar loops. I know Benza hadn't made that, and then it was just kind of half me, half you.
Yeah.
And I remember you sent it to me, and I listened to it in full, like whatever way it was made or whatever.
I think it was like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Back to back that I sent you.
But you sent me beats, and you sent me kind of...
the whole sequence of...
you kind of sent me sketches, and you sent me kind of the idea behind it, kind of like a love letter to where you grew up and all that sort of stuff. And I was just like, the fuck is this? I think I was driving at the time, because I do want me listening to stuff when I'm driving, because... I have to be distracted, you know. I have to be driving distracted and kind of to like soak it in. You know, so I'm not on the phone or I'm not doing other stuff. And I remember I texted you back and I was like, bro, this is the album.
Bro, you sent me a voice note.
Was it a voice note?
At the top of your lungs in the car. You were like, this is the fucking You were like, fuck that other thing. And,
that's what it was. It was like, scrap everything we've made, finish this.
But I remember I didn't argue with that, but I was like, are you sure? You know, because like I still didn't know what it was. You obviously heard what it could be. To me, I was like, these are just like half-arsed beats that I've made in the gaff.
No, I remember you saying that. I was like, oh, bro, like these are only like, I only have one verse and I only have an idea for this, and this is only half made. And I was like, it doesn't matter, man. This is the fucking album. This is the one. This is the one.
I remember how passionately I've never gotten a reaction like that out of you. Because my whole thing with you is, and I tell everybody this, is that it's hard to get like a massive reaction out of you. Now, not that you're a cold-blooded person, but like you're just cold-blooded. But it's like you'll be like, yeah, that's sweet, You know what I mean? And to me, that's like you jumping around the gaff going, this is fucking unreal. You know what I mean?
I did just take the phone out and like,
fuck's sake.
Yeah, bro, cool. Crack
another 16 bars. I was not going to see the light of day. But no, I remember when I got that reaction out of you, I was taken back a bit because I was like, oh, fuck, I wasn't expecting that like at all.
Yeah, man, it was special. As soon as I heard it the first time. I can't remember what tracks they were. I think it was like the Press Jewels or the early stages of that. I don't think it was called the Press Jewels at the time.
Yeah. I hadn't got a name for most of the stuff.
No, I think you had a little bit of Backers done. Did I produce that?
You produced Backers, the Press Jewels, Bunkin, the Green Box.
Did I do the Green Box today?
Yeah.
I love that beat I did. Anytime I hear it, I'm like, fuck, mate, I wish I made that. I always think it's Benza. I always think it's Benza on Green Box. I'd be like, fuck me, I fucking made that. And then he just tell me it's me. I'm like, are you sure I did that?
Yeah, you sure it was me? Yeah.
And I forget. You'd be able to play that whole album. I'd be like, jeez, I'd love to produce something for that.
Yeah.
You produce half it. All right, sorry, bro.
I thought it was 5 though. So there's the Press Jewels.
I think it's 5 and 5. I think it's half and half. I think between
it's
me and
5
Benza.
and 7.
Well, me, Benza, and you.
Yeah.
So you and Benza kind of did the heavy lifting on half, and then I did the rest.
Yeah, and it's mad because I was thinking about self-titled. Shout out to Benza.
Camera man.
Big dog.
Benza, man.
Yeah, I remember I was thinking about self-titled today, and I was like, it's mad to think that. So this album was practically, the Green Box theory was practically half and half, but Adam, Mathman. Shout out to Mathman, by the way, absolute G in the game.
Sorry, yeah, I'm not a crook. He knows.
He'll
it's
understand.
an in-joke. He'll understand.
Yeah, self-titled was originally supposed to be half and half you and Mathman.
Yeah,
which is
that.
Mad to think about now, like considering what he went off to do.
Because we were in the studios, I remember.
Yeah, we were in the studio a couple of times, and I thought that was supposed to be half and half, and then this ended up being half and half. And I remember Adam, I keep calling him Adam, but I remember Mathman listening to the stuff that I did with his beats for self-titled, and I remember him saying, I think this should be a full Rocky record.
Yeah, I remember him saying that. Yeah, it didn't really fit well. I think the sonics of it were just too different.
Yeah,
because he was in a completely different vibe then. He was in the Mango Mathman days.
Well, it was the beginning stages of that.
The early stages of that, like. So sonically, it just
wasn't matching. Now they were still like rap beats. They weren't like Mango Mathman beats.
No, they were heavy.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were heavy.
I remember that. A lot of soul samples and stuff, and that kind of cracked. Like.
Yeah. But I was thinking about that, and it's mad that this ended up being that as well, because it was obviously like subconsciously, it must have just always been in me to be like, right, I want to do a full record with me and Rocky, but this just so happened to turn out to be, and this is like fruits of all of your labour as well, though, bro. Well, this isn't just me.
You have to give yourself credit because you did produce half of the album. Do you know what I mean? Yourself, you went to Benza with sketches and ideas. And he just did his thing, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he added production to them.
He took him and did his thing.
Took him to the different level. Like,
yeah, man, 100%.
He's a sicko.
But you went to him with the sketches and the ideas, you know what I mean? So you got to give yourself credit for that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, bro. But it's also this is all just fruits of like your labour, you know what I mean? This is all the work that you put in, and whether you said it at the time, like, watch what I'm doing, or just be in the room, be present. When I'm making beats, I'll be sitting there on your fucking phone. You've never even said those words to me, but I felt like when we were in that room together in your house, or whether that be in Danny's Ma's gaff, whatever the case may be, I remember when I was in there, I wanted to give you the respect to be present in the room, and then naturally what ended up happening was just like, how'd you do that?
It all in.
How'd you do that? You know what I mean? And start getting inquisitive, and then you were like, look, I'll show you how to do this shit. Because I remember we had a conversation, and you were like, what if like rapping doesn't work out? And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? You know what I mean? And you were like, no, but like, what if it doesn't?
I honestly think that every artist, like if you're into like writing music, especially like singer-songwriters and stuff, if you're into kind of writing and playing music, or you're into rapping or singing or whatever, I think everybody should learn a little bit of production.
Yeah, man.
Because once you kind of understand, well, as a writer, you're going to understand how a song is structured. You know, you have your verse, your pre-hook, your hook, whatever, you know, your bridge, you know, you're kind of painting by numbers. When you learn how to produce music, it just adds a different layer to your writing, because you're not, it's hard to explain, you're not just writing by numbers, you know what I mean? You kind of understand how the track was made, you understand where the snares are hitting and where the best little bit is coming up. And
like that taught me how to keep me timing, because for years I was a little bit off. I was always a little bit off. I was always trying to cram too many words into, but being around you and soaking all that in those rooms and learning how to produce myself, that taught me a lot about what a beat needs rather than what I'm trying to say.
Trying to let the track breathe a little bit.
Exactly.
You're not just, how to say it, you're not just making, just making rap music, you're making songs, you know what I mean? You're making records, you're not just writing fucking freestyles and bars and stuff, do you know what I mean? You're not just trying to, I can get 100 words in here, do you know what I mean?
No,
Cool. But no one's going to listen to that. Do you know what I mean? That's grand.
So true though, that's why I'm laughing, because it's just, for years I just not wasted, because I think people have to throw shit at the wall before it sticks, like, you know what I mean? And I've, obviously, that I live by that now, and I'm proof of that because of what me and you have done. But yeah, man, I think once you understand what a track needs, rather than what you selfishly want to prove on the thing, to be like, oh, I'm the fucking best rapper on the planet, cool, we understand that, that's grand, you can feel that way, but this isn't for that, you know what I mean? That's a big thing that you taught me, was this isn't for that. You need to pick and choose where you're barring, you know what I'm saying? You need to pick and choose where you need to give the song itself what it needs, as opposed to you being selfish about it. And I think that broadened my mind then, and opened my mind to so many different avenues when it came down to it.
I mean, look, it's all well and good making music for yourself, which is fine. We should all be making music that we like. But you're also selling that music, and if you're trying to make a career out of it, you still have to think of the audience, and who is this for? Like, who am I making this for? Am I just making it for me? Is anybody gonna like listen to this? You know what I mean? If I'm cramming 500 words into fucking like 16 bars or whatever the case may be, like, who am I making this for? Do you know what I mean? Who's gonna fucking dissect that and listen to that shit? You know what I mean? You still gotta make it sound fucking fresh and good. You know what I mean? You still gotta make it a vibe. I'm not saying every song has to be like, get the party started. You know what I mean? Get the fuck. It doesn't have to be like that, but you still gotta make
100%, bro.
Something that's listenable. You know what I mean?
And the Green Box Theory is like unapologetically me. I wasn't sitting here, like you were saying, I wasn't sitting here going, oh, how do I make the crossover records? How do I make the pop records? If you ask me who I made this for, I made this for me. I made this 100%. For,
yeah.
I made this
if
for
anybody that knows you personally will know this album is it's just a love letter to how you grew up and your area. That
it's for me, bro. It's for the people
in,
of that state. It's for you. I always say that this is our record. It's not just mine. I've said that from day dot, because I wouldn't be able to do that unless me and you cross paths like all them years ago, and you put in countless hours, and never complaining either, bro. You know what I mean? Like it'd be very easy to go, just fuck off, like, you know what I mean? But you always had patience for me, and I think that's why I always call this ours, because this is not just mine. Although I said I wrote this for me, I wrote it for me in the sense of like my music taste and what I like to hear out of artists, and my being fully myself. This is identity. And I remember you saying that a debut album should be identity.
Yeah, it should be. It should kind of reflect who you are as a person, and kind of, you know, flex a little bit. Like, do you know what I mean? You got to show off a little bit. Sure, what's the point in having that skill if you can't show it off? You know what I mean? Without being too kind of like, oh, look at me, I'm the best. I think it's very humble. It's a very humble record, you know? Like the lyrics alone, I've said it since day one. If you don't win or be nominated for a choice prize for this, man, someone's gaff is getting petrol bombed. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just gotta happen. Like, it just.
There you see D15.
It's just ridiculous. Carry on. It is. It's ridiculous. Carry on. To me, that means a lot, because it's your peers that vote for that. You know what I mean? So to me, I think that means I think you deserve it. You know, for the songwriting alone, production, the theme of the album, all that. Fine. Yes, it's unbelievable. But songwriting alone. Like, I am still, to this day, like, you are the best songwriter in this country. Like, never mind rap or any of that shit. I've said it a billion times. I've said it online. I've got shit for it. I've said it to people's faces. I don't give a fuck. Like, do you know what I mean? That's what I truly believe. And that's what I believed since the first day we met. I was like, this fella is a different caliber. Where the fuck is this guy been hiding? Do you know what I mean? And that's why that's why I was like, right, he's a fan of Drake or whatever, you know, you were young.
Yeah. But it was like that whole sound.
So no slight, like, but I know, you know.
That whole sound, yeah.
But I knew you had to get all that shite out of your system. It's like, right, he's young. You just gotta go off and just do young people shit.
No,
do you know what I mean?
bro.
You just gotta make young people music, like crack on with it. You know what I mean? Sample the Ed Sheeran shit and fucking rap over it. Grand.
Yeah.
That's done. Let's listen to it 5 times and let's park it off in a Google Drive folder somewhere and never see it again. Do you know what I mean?
Never play that shit again.
And that is what happened. In my opinion, I think Self-Titled was an absolute banger of an album. A lot of the tracks on that were unreal.
Yeah.
Motus, I mean, come on. That fucking K song. That was from Motus, wasn't it?
Yeah. Actually, do you know what? If we can play them just to kind of show where we were at the time, it's called 100 Crowns.
Yes.
He went from the K down.
Yeah.
So I think this
I thought it was called the K or something. K. That's what I thought it was called.
This was actually on Motus as well. But I think this was the start of, because I think it was one of the last tracks I recorded that we did for Motus.
Okay.
And it's very teamed up, aligned with this, and what I'm talking about on it. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that beat's a banger, isn't it?
Oh, so crazy.
Like to me, that's like murder. You know, that's that.
It's the
vibe.
anger,
You know, the anger kind of of where you grew up. Like the K, obviously, we're from Blanchardstown. You know, from D15. So you can hear that kind of the anger with the guard. You know, you can hear it all in there, like that.
And it's like it's my thing that I've always done about that. This anger is like you're almost born with it. Growing up where we grow up, like, you know what I mean? It's almost like you're just bred into just being fucking angry. You have to be angry, like, you know what I mean? You have to show your masculine side, or you have to be a tough nut or whatever. And I come from a long line of fighters, bro. Like, they're all scrappers. Like, I grew up and people are like, oh, seeing your uncle boxing there, that. You know what I mean? Like, and like, I just wasn't like that. So with this stuff, I knew I wanted to, like, write from that perspective, where it was like, although I'm saying stuff on this, like, you ain't from the K, and it's a gang of young fellas, and it's blood spill, rule number 5, love kills. It was more so like what the Green Box is. I was writing about, like, this shit I was just seeing. I wasn't involved in that shit, you know what I mean? It was more so just the reality of it all. And that's why it was important to, like you saying, that's mad that you made the comparison to Murder, because it has that sort of energy. It has that
style, it has that kind of flavour. But they're not very far apart from each other. What, the space of a couple of months maybe you recorded them too?
Yeah, well...
Or wrote those two, sorry?
Yeah, it was roughly around that, I wrote this for like one of the last sessions we did for Motus, and then, sure, as soon as we like said, that's the track list for Motus, I was onto the Green Box then.
Motus cost you a fortune, didn't it? In recording?
Yeah, I remember, because that was the first time we stopped recording, like in the bedroom, fucking those sort of situations.
Yeah.
I remember I went and recorded it. It cost me a bleeding
arm and a leg, as far as I remember.
It cost a bomb.
Because you recorded that away from me as well.
Yeah, recorded it away from you, and I was doing it like externally for the first time, which was something that like it was mad foreign to me, bro. Because I was just used to like me and you sitting down here.
But you had to do that.
I know.
That's why I said it to you. I was like, look, man, you need to go away. That's why we split up for the couple of months. It was like, you have to go and do this. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of, I can't do everything for you.
No, yeah.
You know, because you'll never grow. You'll never kind of stand on your own 2 feet. I'm not saying that you weren't, but it's like, oh, sure, we'll just go to Rockies and do that. Do you know what I mean? It was like, no, you need to go off and do that. You need to go off and see, is this something that you can actually do? Do you know what I mean?
Outside of the bubble that
outside of the group. You know what I mean? Outside of the family. Like, it's like, you got to go and just crack on with this, you know what I mean?
And there was like a chip on the shoulder as well around that time, that I remember you telling me like, oh, it's not a healthy place to be in when you're trying to make music. And it was the chip on my shoulder where I was like, no, me and Rocky can do this thing, and we're going to take over the fucking scene, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. And I had these big plans, and it was like, to be completely transparent, I was like, you were saying, oh, you need to go out and slap hands, network with people. And I was like, 100%. I don't fucking slap hands with any of these.
You were so angry with everybody around that time.
You know what I'm saying?
I remember, like, you'd be hearing tracks from certain artists and you'd be like, fucking, see if they're saying something about me. Do you reckon that's a slight at me? I'm like, bro, I don't even think he knows you. I don't even think he knows who you are. Like,
bro, this is a prime example.
It's so funny.
Top 10 lists used to come out
angry, like.
every year. And I used to be
Why am I not on it?
because you haven't released fucking music, bro. Like, why
You
would
haven't
you
released
be on
anything.
Why
Why would
you
they
be on
even
it,
know
like?
who you are? Like, but look, that's what it's like when you're a young artist, and especially when it's like, you know, you're good. I'm not saying you have a big ego or anything like that, but when you know you're that good,
But there's an element of like,
You know?
you should feel, without it being unhealthy, you should feel like you're the best in the room. Always. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Every rapper, especially rap being a competitive sport,
Yeah.
you should feel like you're the best rapper in the room. But to a certain extent, I was just a dickhead for a long time back then.
Yeah.
Where it was like, you were saying, you need to go out, you need to talk to these people. I'm like, I don't fucking talk to these. Like, who the fuck are all these? Like, I
remember.
don't need them, and I don't, fuck them, they're shite, and they're this, that, and you know what I mean? Like, it's like, they have nothing, they couldn't hold a candle to me. And it was just a horrible chip. And I remember you talking to me about it for years, man. And just
I
being
used
like,
to keep giving you abuse over it.
yeah. You're carrying on. Like,
You're better than nobody, bro. And nobody's better than you. You know?
Yeah. It's just, look, I think that
I remember the
comes...
diss tracks now that you wrote and recorded. I
Yeah,
remember you sent
like-
me one of them. I was like, fuck me, look, you need to...
It's so angry.
I think I actually told you to go off and record it, did I? I was like, just go and get it out of your system.
Yeah,
go
yeah,
and record
yeah.
it and send it to me.
Yeah. And then you were like, just still want to put it out? And I was like, nah, bro.
I think when you listen to it back, you were like, I sound like an arsehole.
But that
on
was the turning point, because it was
Yeah.
that track, I specifically remember, that was that track where I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm after spending 2 hours sweating. Like, sweating.
Giving out about people that don't even
know
give a
who
fuck
I
about,
am.
like, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was just, I think it was just, I was in a spot where I was frustrated because I knew what me and you had done and what we had in the tank, and it just wasn't, like, nobody else knew that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now,
No, I get that.
aside from everybody else who we showed the stuff to, but nobody else knew it, and it was like this bubbling thing. And I just think being young, you're automatically like, these are all shit, I'd smoke them and this, and you know what I mean?
Unfortunately, there is some artists out there that are still shining
Yeah,
on like this,
yeah,
still
no,
carrying
of
on
course,
like that.
yeah.
And they're fucking
Yeah.
my age, like they're even pushing 40 and they're still out there going, you know, everyone's against me. And it's like, no one's against you, bro.
Well, that's
you know?
like, I feel for those people because I was there, and it's a horrible place to be at.
It is, man, it's horrible.
Where
you
you're
have to
blaming,
grow out of it.
You're pointing the finger
gotta
at
grow
everyone
out of
else. Do you know what I mean? You're pointing the finger at everyone else, and in actuality, it's like, no, like, I'm the fucking problem. Well, certainly in my case, I was like, I'm the fucking problem. Like, you know what I mean?
Speaking of cost, how much did this cost you then in total? 'Cause I don't think I've ever asked.
Yeah, no, you've never asked, because
How much does it cost you
probably
roughly,
cut
do you
me
think?
off, bro.
How much does it cost you roughly, do you think?
Altogether, the Green Box Theory cost
Roughly.
me roughly about, it's roughly about 18 to 20 grand.
Fucking
Yeah.
people don't understand that. You know.
And I think it's important to mention as well, it's
Now, is that from recording sessions,
Yeah.
production sessions, mixing, mastering? We don't have the vinyls here, but pressing up the vinyls. Is that all
That's
of that?
all of that. So that's from going to a studio, engineer, mixing the record, mastering the record, vinyls made, mastering it for vinyl. That's all of that included. About 18 to 20 grand. And that's before we even shot a video.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was before we even
So
shot a video.
the videos that happened that didn't come out, which we'll discuss as well. Like, but
Yeah.
that was an extra cost then, was it?
That was an extra cost on top then. That was about another, it was like 2.5 on top. So
How many years was that then? How many years have you... I know this has been done a long time. This has been done for about a year, hasn't it?
this has been like mixed mastered from 2024. So yeah, about a year.
So how long did it take to make this record then? In total, roughly?
From like
Start to finish?
the
kind of?
idea of me
Yeah,
writing
yeah,
and everything. So it took, I remember recording it in 2023 in the playground. Recorded it in 2023. I think I had everything written before I went to the playground, and I think
remember
that
that.
took me.
I remember that.
Yeah.
But I remember you getting the recordings back and saying, "Oh, I'm gonna switch these kind of
Yeah,
bars around. I'm gonna rewrite this part of it." So I
yeah.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was like timing issues as well that like
Yeah.
where that I wanted to fix. But from the idea, once I get the stamp of approval off you, I send it to you, and you give me that reaction. I'm like, right,
Yeah.
it's fucking go time. We're going. From then to recording, it was about 6 to 8 months like of writing.
That's not bad.
It's not. In fairness,
That's not bad.
About
Considering the
6.
caliber of writing on this album, like and like production that's behind it as well,
Yeah.
that's not bad.
Yeah, it kind of fell out on me though. Like I know it took 6 months, but it took 6 months because I'm just the sort of writer that like is like, right, I need to finish this last bar, but the last bar. I've tried to write, like, I'm the sort of person to focus on one bar for like 3 weeks before, because I know it's in there and I just haven't got it yet, you know what I mean? So that is probably where it got delayed. But like the ideas, I had all the song titles written down before I even wrote a song.
I remember you sent me the track list, and I remember
Before
when I
you
seen
wrote a
Children of
track.
the Hill, I was like, fucking hell, what was that? It wasn't even the intro at the start, I don't think. I think it was something else at the start.
No, it was like
middle of the album or end of the album or something like that.
middle,
closer.
yeah, it was around that.
I think when you recorded it, we both just looked at each other and went, that's the intro.
That's the intro, yeah.
Like, that is the album, like, that is the Green Box Theory.
I remember you actually said to me, you were like, would you not change the name of the album to Children of the Hill? Because it's just so, because that song is captivating and that title alone is just...
I never really understood the title.
The Green Box Theory.
You know I had issues with the title. The Green Box Theory, I was like, oh, you know, Vince Staples has the Big Fish Theory and all this. And I was like, what is it? Like, what does that even mean? I remember you explained it to me in great detail, as you normally do. And I remember saying, right, yeah, it makes sense. It took me a long time to kind of get with the title. Because I'm one of these, I'm a very visual person, as you know. If I'm working on anything, I go out and shoot visuals first. I'm like, this is what it has to sound like, you know. You look at an image and you're like, right, this has to sound like that. You know the way I am.
But I'm like that.
I fucking write down titles all the time. I'm always sending you 30 titles, like, man, check out these titles, you know. If I could write songs as good as I could write titles, man, I'd be very far along. But yeah, I remember seeing Children of the Hill and I was like, fuck, man, you need to name the album that. Like, it was just incredible. The whole meaning of it, like, you know, it was incredible.
No, 100%, bro, and I appreciate that. But that what you said there is very important. You have to see what it's going to sound like. Like, that has to sound like what's on that record. Like, and that is something that I like definitely absorbed, sponged, developed from you as well. Was because in my head I'm already writing videos, or I'm already like thinking about videos and thinking about treatment for videos and being like, oh, if we shot a video like that, it'd be unreal for this, like, you know what I mean? And that's the way it was going. So I think that rubbed off of me, that rubbed off of you onto me, and I kind of just like had the titles out, but I knew what I wanted to talk about. What a lot of people don't know is, and I think this is the first time I'm saying it, and you know this, of course, but I wrote 12 songs for this, and that was it. There was no
there was no
extra,
offcuts, there was no side B's.
Nothing. Like, those 12 songs that I wrote for this are on that album, which is something that I never really made with that much intention, ever.
No, because the other two projects we worked on, there was like 20, 30 tracks for each.
Yeah, and then it was like, right, what are the best
like
12 or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and we pulled out the best 12.
Or like these two or these three sound the same.
Because I remember you saying, am I right in, you know, I'm like, my memory, I fucking had like a sieve. Am I right in saying you wanted this to be longer? Did you want it to be longer at the time?
No.
Did you not come to me and say, I'm going to do more?
No, I said
14 or 16 or something.
Yeah, well, the 14 and 16, that came from because Whitestown Avenue Freestyle was going to be two different songs.
Yes, I remember.
And then there was like a couple of things that were going to be two different ideas. That sort of thing. But yeah, this was like the first thing that I ever made with full intention, and I knew that this was going to be the one then. Because I spoke to you, you listened to them, you were like, oh shit, and then from that lit a fire under me. I started writing the shit, and then I wrote down subject matters that I wanted to speak about. I wrote down of that time, because again, we need to remember this is set in a certain time, so everything historically has to matter.
Oh, the early 90s, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like the mid to late 2000s, but everything historically has to make sense. So there's like research in that as well. But a lot of it just fell out of me. I knew I wanted to talk about. I knew the title track, The Green Box, was going to be like a dedication to the people that we've lost in the estate. I knew Children of the Hill was going to be this big, gradual, theatric thing. I knew I wanted to open it like that, where people are kind of like, they listen to it, they press play, and they're like, fucking hell, what is this? Like, you know what I mean?
I wasn't expecting this. Like,
that's what I mean. And then finishing it, I knew when I wrote Children of the Hill that I wanted to finish it with me dad saying those first 4 bars, so it's like a full circle thing.
Course, that always gets me when I listen to it. At the listening party when your dad was there, I was looking at him, I was like, you fucking bastard. Fucking catch me out with that, like, you little fucker. Well, his voice sounds fucking like silk on the album as well.
It gets me, like, people, if anyone...
Shout out Aldo Flynn.
Shout out Tony Jr.
Big T.
he left his boyhood dreams on that field so I could ride the green box one day, bro.
100%, man. And come here, do you think you'll ever see any return on the investment? It's not, to me, it's an investment, you know, you invested in yourself.
Yeah.
You invested in the craft, the sound. I mean, this will live on forever, like, you know, this will live on forever now.
And that's why I think I spend so much on it.
Like, when you're dead and buried and Caelan's an old man, he'll have this on his wall, like, you know.
Yeah, and it's like, that's
legacy.
Legacy, exactly. And that's what I think I do it for, bro. More so than anything else. I think.
Do you think you'll see anything back for it? Do you hope to get anything back? Would you, be honest now, would you like to get the monetary bit back, or would you prefer the credit?
I think I want the credit more than anything else.
Yeah.
I genuinely do. The credit, the whatever about the accolades, I know you were talking about Choice Prize and all these things. I think the stuff I do it for is when people come to me and they say, Choosing Up the Hill matters to me because of this, and the green box matters to me because of this, and bunking matters to me because of this, and all of those things are worth way more to me than trying to see any return. You know what I mean? In my head, when I put that money into this record, that money was gone anyway.
Yeah.
Like I'm never saying that again. That was my whole ideology. If something does come from it, that's a bonus. Cool, we made the money back. That's fine. But I think the story of Whitestown was way too important to be precious about money in my head. I needed to do this a certain service, and the standard that I wanted it at, I didn't want to half-arse it. I didn't want to spend mad money on the engineering, get to mix and master and be like, oh, somebody over here will do it for 50 quid. When I was comparing everybody else's mixes to Adam Shanahan's anyway, you know what I mean? And then he put me onto the mastering engineering. Yeah, it was just all the things there was a lot of roadblocks though, like the visual stuff.
The videos was a big issue.
The video was a big issue.
Was it about a year fucking drama?
Yeah, it's
went
like
from
still
a couple
going
of different
on.
directors, like.
Yeah, but the visual stuff was important to me. How it was depicted. Me and you use this term all the time, poverty porn. I said that recently to somebody and they were pissing themselves out.
I know, anytime I say that, they're like, what? like poverty porn.
Poverty porn. We didn't want to do
graffiti on a wall and you're rapping in front of it.
The abandoned gaffs or the boarded up gaffs, you know what I mean?
Going down to the flats, like, you know, even from the flats.
Yeah, that sort of crack.
Imagine me going in Sheriff Street and recording
a
video, like. No disrespect to Sheriff Street, but that's what lads do, or they go to Ballymun, like, you know, you're not even from there. You're from Castleknock, bro, what you doing?
Whatever area, it's just looks cool. But my thing was, it was very important that this visually, how this was depicted, because the record isn't talking about, although it's like, on the record, I'm not naive.
It has the themes, but you're not talking about going out and shooting people.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? Because that wasn't my life. Like, it's about the beauty and the sort of what people would deem from the outside like a broken place.
You're doing it respectfully.
Exactly, and that's what I wanted to give the area the respect. So it was important to me. How we shot it.
Jonathan Lambert was.
Jonathan Lambert, yeah, he
was earmarked for the first one, wasn't it? Because it was important.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, if anyone is of my vintage, back in the day, if you had a video shot by Jonathan Lambert, like, you were the shit.
But this is why...
Do you know what I mean?
It
like LD videos and stuff like that. Like,
man.
If it was a Jonathan Lambert joint, man, you were fucking the bollocks.
I remember seeing the Little Dialect video for, I think it was 1988, and they were on a boat, and I was like, fuck me, man, this is something else. Like, but the reason why we reached out to John, who, again, is a fucking great friend of yours, great friend of mine, and is always supporting. Nothing but love for John, obviously.
Oh, he's a beast.
He's unbelievable at what he does, but the reason why I wanted him was like, that even fits into the team even more.
Fits into the theme, kind of. He's a really talented storyteller,
exactly.
You know.
Visually,
he knows what he's doing, you know. He's a very talented lad, like, and it would have fit perfect. But unfortunately, he's a busy lad.
This is the thing.
He's a busy lad.
The thing. And that's like John is always, he's still on to me now going, we have to do something for this album. Like, and there's so many boxes.
I think he was shooting a short film around that time as well. Like, he had a lot going on. Like,
yeah, I think he was doing Home Time at the time.
Yeah, maybe, I think so. Yeah,
but unbelievable, nothing but love and respect for John, because he's still on to me now going, we need to do something for the album, and I still want to, because like there's a lot of boxes that are ticked with this nostalgia wise for me, and not even just for nostalgia reasons, but having John on board because he's just incredible at what he does. And like what I've been doing with this lately is I've been putting myself into like 15, 16-year-old Lev's shoes and being like, can you imagine back then Jonathan Lambert texting me and going, I want to do a video with you? Like I would have been ecstatic. So that's like, I need to treat it as such, you know what I mean? I need to treat it as such.
And then it moved on to someone else then. I know there's a bit of a legal issue going on there, so we don't really talk about that. Because it was Jonner and then it was me. But because I was so busy around that time, I was traveling a lot and all that. Like,
but it was
I wasn't able
also
to do it.
It was also I didn't want, like you said, I've been like relying on you this whole time.
And I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to have any involvement because I wanted to be a fan. You know,
this is it.
I didn't want to. Once you find out how the sausage is made, it's very hard to kind of
No,
see it as normal.
I wanted to just like give you the videos and be like, look at this shit.
I was really looking forward to it, man. You know, I won't lie. You know the sus. Like, I didn't want to be there while you were recording the album. I wanted to hear the songs fresh, like a fan. I wanted to hear the whole album start to finish, just as a fan. You know what I mean? I wanted to be I wanted that moment. I was jealous that everyone else gets that moment where they listen to it the first time, like, oh, that's their fucking hits. You know what I mean? Where, like with Self-Titled and Motus, I heard them a million times, and like the magic of it was gone for me. Do you know what I mean? It was gone because you just kind of you're picking at it, you're nitpicking, you're changing things, and it's like you don't get fed up with it, but it was kind of like, right, fuck, thank God that's out now. I can move on. Where with the Green Box, I just wanted to be a fan first. I wanted to see the videos and be blown away by them because I knew Jonner was going to do them. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, oh my God, this thing is going to look unbelievable.
Well, this is the thing,
you know what I mean?
That's like,
and then when it moved on to, then I knew Jonner couldn't be involved because he was flat out at the time, and I know you were under a little bit of pressure because you did have an original release date for this last year. I think it was, wasn't it? It was last year. And then I said, right, I'll do one and then find a director for the other ones to kind of follow suit, because I knew you wanted to use the green box at the end of every video. You wanted to always tie back to that one shot of the green box and all that kind of crack. I know you had big plans for the videos were going to be a lot different
at the beginning,
what the videos are now. You know, you went on with a different director. It didn't work out with that director. So it was like, right, these videos come out in like 2 weeks. You have to get something fucking shot. So you're like, look, just come up to the fucking house, we'll shoot something. And then obviously that turned into the first track.
Blanked,
Second track was like, what are we gonna do for this? I'm like, I'll shoot the fucking second one as well. Just let me shoot the second one, I'll get that done.
And I remember you saying, I'm gonna shoot the second one, but if I offer to shoot Chosen Up the Hill, tell me the fuck off.
Tell me fucking no, I can't do it. Like, I just had too much on at the time.
But there was guilt around that for me though as well.
How long did it take to shoot them videos? Shot the first one in a couple of hours.
Couple of hours.
First one.
Second one was
more that we shot in about 2 hours, 3 hours.
2 or 3 hours
in your garden. Shout out to Days and
Dib, of course.
And Derek and everyone that
Derek
helped out.
Gave us a hand. Derek
all the
Brown,
boys that helped out.
Who's here, man on the cameras right now.
Man on the cameras behind it. Can't see him. He's a man of mystery. But I remember.
Everybody kind of came together. Everybody came together to get that stuff.
I think they were shot and edited in about 2 days.
Yeah, because
in total.
You can't sleep until alone, bro.
And then the third one was a bit of a debacle as well. I was almost shooting the third one as well because I know you were having a crack at it. I was kind of hyping you up, like you're fucking well able to do it. Crack on, shoot a previs and fucking just stick to that, like, you know. You hired cameras, all that stuff. I know there was a bit of an issue with a gimbal and that sort of crack, so it did have to be changed.
And then in the middle of that, Caelan went to the hospital.
Caelan wasn't well, and it was just so much was going on at the one time. But I that's probably one of my favourite ones. I think that turned out really well. Now, there was a bit of heavy editing on my side. Just to kind of fix things and add. There's a lot of fake scenes in that you didn't actually shoot. I mashed kind of
together, the
bit with your dad and stuff, like, and the horses and all that stuff. But I think that video turned out really well. And I think the visuals, I know people here, a lot of people that are watching that weren't at the listening party didn't get to see a lot of the visuals. I know you're starting to filter them out now through your socials. A lot of the visual, like the kind of standalone pieces you shot yourself, and I think they're fucking unbelievable. I remember at the listening party, speaking of Jonathan Lambert, at the listening party, he was standing beside me, and he leaned in and he goes, "Jays, man, do you shoot them visuals? They're lovely." And I was like, "Nah, bro, he shot them himself. I had nothing to do with them. He did them himself."
I didn't know that.
I think them visuals are better than the videos. I think them visuals are so fucking tasty.
Do you reckon?
The one where you're in the
bedroom.
In the bedroom.
Martin's bedroom.
Even like the frame and everything, like it's just like, you know, the compositions of them.
But that is That's you.
They're really
bro.
tasty. They're really tasty.
That's
yeah, but
not
you're
me.
a big film buff now. You're a big
I know.
film.
This is the thing.
He's a big film buff now, apparently. I don't know. But so you've been watching and you've been studying, you know, like the likes of Sinner. You can see the influence from Sinners and all that sort of stuff in there. The Wes Anderson kind of vibe in there as well, and all the villains you've been
But
watching.
that again is you. Like that to me, people say that, like, even it's mad that John said that, because
You need to give yourself credit, man. You have to
Josh.
stop pointing at me and like, but that's you, you know, I soaked it up from you. You didn't soak it up from me. You soaked it up from yourself, man. You're fucking, sure, how old are you now?
30.
You're 30, like, you're a fucking grown man now, do you know what I mean? You haven't spent 30 years with me. You know what I mean? You've spent a couple of years with me,
I still feel like when I'm around you though, bro, that I'm still that little kid, like, trying to make you proud. Like,
You shouldn't be, man.
No, but I am.
I've told you before.
And I think I'll
man,
always be that.
There's no need to make me proud. You know what I mean? I've never stopped being proud since the first day we fucking met.
Yeah.
You know, you need to stop with that carry on.
No, I appreciate it, bro.
You need to take...
But it's all like,
You need to take
all of
me
this
out
was
of it.
No,
you know
no,
what I mean?
but
I didn't write this. I didn't write this. I didn't come up with the idea behind this. You did. You know what I mean? All I did was just give you the tools to put it together. Me and Benza, you know? And yourself. Like, you produced half of this yourself. You have to be fucking extremely proud of yourself, man.
no, I appreciate that.
Give
Man.
yourself the pat on the back. Like, 20 grand is a lot of fucking money. That's a lot of fucking 10, 12 hour shifts. Getting that money together. You have a young family, like that's not easy.
And that was
man.
only
That's not easy.
The family thing was only starting to happen when it was
That's
like,
it.
right, we need to start forking money out for this album, and
Like, that's tough, man. That's tough. I don't even know if I'd be able to do that now. You know, I don't even know if Danielle would be like, yeah, I'm spending fucking 20 grand on music. Do you know what I mean? She
yeah,
wouldn't
no, of
understand
course,
it.
man,
Like,
yeah. And that's like, I think it was a lot of it was belief. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of it where I wasn't fazed by what I was putting into it. Now, obviously, I had to have a conversation with Danielle and say,
yeah, of course. Look, that's
you know
between
what I mean?
you and her. You know, that's nobody else's business.
But yeah, I think a lot of it was belief. I believed in this story. Again, like probably most people will be able to see throughout this, I find it very hard to believe in myself. And that's just me. I've always been that way. Do you know what I mean?
We're all
I
like
need,
that, man.
I need you around me to go, that's fucking it. You know what I mean? Or like, yeah. So I find it hard to believe in myself, but I believed in this story so much that none of that shit really fazed me. That was all like, that was all smoke and mirrors for me. Like, you know what I mean? It was like, I knew what I wanted to get across with this album. And I knew that the look and the imagery of all of this, me and you discussed it. We knew we were both, I think it was like the first time we were both in sync with each other for like the first record ever. I think all the other stuff was like more so you were just telling me, like, not telling me, but you were like, I couldn't come up with an idea to save me life.
Yeah, I was leading the rest of the
you were leading the
projects.
way,
It was more the vibe. I wouldn't say like the lyrics or anything like that. Like, they were all your ideas. I'd never take that away from you. But yeah, like, the sound of it, I was completely pushing it.
And
like,
the visuals, like,
I was trying to take it away from kind of trap and whatever was popular at the time. I was like, nah, man, fuck all that shit. You know, you got to rap on these. And you were like, oh, you sure? And I'm like, yeah, man. You sound good on these. You know, like that Welcome to the K or whatever, the 100 Crowns. Like,
100 Crowns tune,
that vibe was just completely different then. It even sounds new now. Like, you could put that out today and it sounds fresh as fuck. You know what I mean? Not trying to toot me on horn around, but you know what I mean?
For sure, no, do it, bro. And that's what I wanted to do with
Tastemaker.
this. It was, I wanted to make it timeless because it's mad. Most people won't know this, obviously, but we listened to it. I talked about it on the No Encore podcast. Shout out to the boys. But we listened to it together for the first time. I hadn't heard it mastered. We listened to it together for the first time.
Yeah, I kept telling you, nah, just crack on. It's grand.
Just listen to it. And I was like, nah, fuck that.
You came into the house when I came to the studio.
And I've talked about that moment and all on that podcast.
It was a quiet session.
I
don't think we spoke a word to each
because
other.
you were sitting in front of me at the desk and I was sitting behind you, and like I don't even think I was looking at you, bro. I was just like sitting there like this. And then we had that moment or whatever.
What would you have done? I turned around and goes, that ain't it, bro.
Fucking shit.
That ain't it. How much of that cost you? 20 grand?
20 grand for
that? Ain't it, bro.
No, but I say that because I purposely made it, because I've been sitting on this for so long. I made it my business to like, oh right, I'm not going to actively listen to this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't get sick of it.
I don't even think you showed it to many people, did you? You
No,
kind of kept it close to your chest.
Kept it close enough. The tight circle around me, obviously, like the likes of you or whoever.
Because before you were like, man, when you hear this, we were all like that.
Of course,
showing everybody like that nanny the song, you know.
Yeah. And I wasn't even alluding to like, there's an album coming. You know what I mean? I was just like banging out the singles.
You went off socials for a while as well. Your socials went dead, like.
Yeah, and I stopped.
You kind of dropped off the face of the earth for a little bit.
Depressed Jules was written in 2020, like. Do you know what I mean?
Was it?
Yeah, that song was written in 2020. A lot of this, so this is like been a long time, and it's easy for you to get sick of your own music when you listen to that. But this album came out, and the first time I listened to it on like streaming or whatever was like 3 weeks after it came out. That was the first time I listened to it, because it's the point I was trying to make with that is that it's just, I wanted to make a timeless piece, and every time I listened to it, no matter how much, I didn't listen to it much, but every time I listened to it, I still liked it, and that was rare for me, you know what I mean? That was rare for me to still like something that I made for so long, because like, I had the masters of this, like you said, for about a year and a half.
Yeah.
And I listened to it sporadically throughout that time, if I was showing people or whatever. I listened to it sporadically throughout that time, and I remember thinking to myself, like, I think I've made, and this is the only thing that kind of tube me up on, is that I think, not even mine, but both of us, bro, I think we both made a timeless record. Like. I think this will live on, and I think these songs will they'll live forever, and I don't think they will ever sound dated.
So tell me this, future plans. Are we going to get another album? I know you've said to me a few kind of bits and bobs that we'll keep under wraps. But has the process of this, like the money, you know, the issues with videos, the issues with recording, the expense of something like this, to do this again, because if you do another one of these, it's probably going to cost double what it cost this, you know, because you're going to want to do it bigger. Will we get another album? Do you think that's going to happen? Is it too soon?
You know the real answer to this. I only think in albums, so I'm always going to make albums, and there is something that I am passionate about right now that we've talked about, that I would like to be follow up to this one, but there's a lot to consider, like, and I think this deserves at least its own run for now. I think, I remember having a conversation with, I think it was Matt, and he said to me, "You making an album? Yeah, it's gonna break your heart," and that's what it fucking did. It broke my heart. But the love I've been getting from it is like next to none. I still can't believe that it's actually happening. Like, and people resonate with it the way they have. But whether it's doable or not is another question. And it's such an open-ended answer. I'm sorry, but we'll see. Is what I'll say.
And on that note, a pleasure. Bring it in.
We need to do this every week.
Nah, man, stop. Return of gobsmacked.
Thank you. Sit down with
Pleasure.
Smiling in disguise, I'ma tell you what, one last time. Please don't look me now if you ain't look me in me prime, nah. Solid gold around the neck, island on the chest. Who the fuck let the 6 foot paddy flex? Pressure. If pressure makes diamonds with the perfect amount of stress, we can rob the jewel I blow